Hey friends, I know that we don't typically cover this kind of stuff, but as I'm seeing it play out, and especially after our video yesterday on what's going on with the GameStop stock, I just kind of want to continue to break down because it's just developing and it's continuing to escalate in ways that I wasn't necessarily expecting. And as an outsider watching what's happening, I just kind of want to continue to show what's going on with GameStop, because one of the big things that happened this morning is the fact that Robinhood, which is the trading app that a lot of people are using in order to purchase GameStop stock, actually shut down trading on several different stocks that make it so that people can't purchase that. You can see here, there's the list of AMC, BlackBerry, Express, GameStop, Koss, and Nokia as were some of the biggest movers in yesterday's trading cycle. And now Robinhood is saying that they're stopping this because of market volatility, which has resulted in the internet losing their collective crap on what's going on. You can see it's just tweet after tweet after tweet. It's the top trending thing on Twitter right now that Robinhood did this, but I think that leads to probably what is the key misunderstanding of what's going on here with GameStop. This is not necessarily just a group of people who decided that this is a meme stock. This actually is turning out to be people trying to stick it to the billionaires, to the upper class, to that top 0.1%, that they're actually trying to implement some sort of a social movement. This is what I kind of talked about towards the end of yesterday's video. This is people's Occupy Wall Street, where now they can do it with democratized trading apps. But it appears that democratized trading apps such as Robinhood actually have some sort of in with these massive hedge funds such as Citadel, and it's resulting in them actually moving forward and halting trading on specific things because of market volatility reasons. But I think it's kind of leading to a Streisand effect of what's going on. As you can see here, this tweet is probably something that I would share that is going to be the sentiment of a lot of people who are currently in this market, saying Robinhood legitimately hid these, and Internet Psychology 101, this will only make things worse for you, Wall Street. Things are getting blown the F up today. Take all the cash you can afford to lose and buy. And I think it goes down to something like this open letter that was posted on Wall Street's Bets yesterday. I was in my early teens during the '08 crisis. I vividly remember the enormous repercussions that the reckless actions by those on Wall Street had in my personal life and the lives of those close to me. I was fortunate. My parents were prudent and a little paranoid, and they had some food storage saved up. When that crisis hit our family, we were able to keep our little house, but we lived off of pancake mix and powdered milk and beans and rice for a year. Ever since then, my parents have kept a food storage, and they keep it updated and refreshed. Then to continue saying, use to Melvin Capital, which is one of the companies that is largely holding one of these short selling positions on GameStop. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about there, you can watch yesterday's video saying, you stand for everything that I hated during that time. You're a firm who makes money off of exploiting a company and manipulating markets and media to your advantage. Your continued existence is a sharp reminder that the ones in charge of so much hardship during the '08 crisis were not punished. In your blatant disregard for the law, made obvious months ago through your illegal naked short selling, and more recently your obscene market manipulation after hours, shows that you haven't learned a single thing since '08. And why would you? Your ilk were bailed out and rewarded for terrible and illegal financial decisions that negatively changed the lives of millions. And that's essentially the sentiment that you can see through all of Wall Street Bets. This actually isn't so much about purchasing a stock and making money. People buying one single share of GameStop and it goes from $350 to $1,000, they've made $600, which is life-changing money for some. But as has been the expressed feeling from what I'm gathering, is the idea that we've been through this before. For the type of people that $600 is life-changing, we also know how to get by without it. We are able to actually pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we know where the food pantries are. We know how to actually make it through if we lose this money. So we're going to lose this money if we have to, in order to teach billionaires who know nothing about this struggle, who clearly have had no self-reflection since the market manipulation tactics that took place in 2008, since you don't know how to deal with the real life, since you only know how to deal with these high-level plays, and you don't know how to actually engage with what is a normal real-life struggle for millions, if not billions of people, well, if I can buy a single share to screw that up for you, I'm going to do that because me losing $300 and you losing billions is worth it to me. And I think that's just the most fascinating part about everything that's going on with GameStop. Anybody who's saying that this is because Elon Musk tweeted GameStonk, or people that just want to make a meme of a dying business that should have gone bankrupt years ago, I think are actually missing the point of what's going on behind the scenes right here. For the people who have bought stock in GameStop in the last week, they're not doing it because they're trying to make a quick buck. They're doing it because they see that there is something going on behind the scenes that shouldn't. And the funny thing is, it's not actually going on behind the scenes. All of this is public information. Naked short selling is the event where the stocks are shorted beyond their available shares. And so the only way you win is if nobody buys the stock. So people on the internet saw that this was happening, saw that there was market manipulation going on according to their eyes, and decided that now is the time that they can do something about it. If I can earn $7,000 off of buying 10 shares, I'm going to do that. But the more important thing is that it's very clear that these billionaire hedge funds and everybody who's involved with them still haven't learned a single lesson, and doing things such as closing down Robinhood to prevent stock trading on these things is actually just furthering that point. Robinhood, in the most ironic way fashionable, is actually now part of that. They are part of the establishment. Robinhood, the idea that you steal from the rich to give to the poor, got called out for doing exactly that by the billionaire hedge funds. And so they've stopped trading to allow the poor to actually benefit off of what's going on right now, which, according to dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of threads, you'll see that's exactly the point. We will just find another way to be able to do it. I've seen several tweets about Public, which I don't know much about, but apparently is a way to make the stock market social. Cash App's still available. There's still ways to purchase these shares. So it's creating this sentiment of, okay, the billionaires are continuing to pull out all of the stops. They're shutting down our ability to trade, which is viewed as blatant market manipulation. They are afraid that they're going to lose billions and billions because they got caught out doing something that they shouldn't have. And now they want the average person to pay that price. The average person isn't going to stand for that at this point. And you can see here, just with the price of the stock, that is absolutely continuing to happen. Yesterday, it closed at 347 before market. When all of this stuff was going on with Robinhood, it was at 261. And now, as people are just finding other ways to trade, it's gone up to 400. It seems like the idea that they were going to be able to stop the upward momentum by shutting down the most popular app seems to miss the point entirely. When you find a population like this who knows how to deal with loss, who knows how to deal with actually going through the hard steps of living a life that has been manipulated and screwed over by billionaires in 2008 who decided that they were going to just screw over the real estate market because they didn't need they weren't ever going to face the consequences from their actions. The people who did face those consequences, how now have the power, thanks to democratized trading apps that don't charge commission, through crowdsourced resilience, through the ability to see that everybody is still in this game. When you start poking them, they are just going to continue to do it. And moves like this by Robinhood will only continue to drive that point home. It will only continue to further the cause, because the cause is not making money. The cause is getting people to have consequences for their actions. When they screwed over the rest of America and the world, now they're getting caught out because they did something that they shouldn't have done, except for now it's not the government who's going to hold them accountable. It's not their shareholders who are going to hold them accountable. It's the everyday person who now has the power to hold them accountable if they all come together and do it. And when you give them a target to shoot at, they will aim at it. And I think this just will lead to several ramifications based on how I'm seeing it. Of course, Robinhood probably doesn't have a future anymore. Robinhood wasn't taken seriously by major investors in the first place because it was meant for the everyman. But now Robinhood has exactly gone against that purpose of not allowing the everyman to get in on trading stocks that would allow the everyman to fulfill their purpose of sticking it to the big guy. So this seems to be a complete betrayal of trust people now are going to move on to other platforms such as Public, such as Cash App, such as other trading applications that will allow them to do it. And it seems like it's going to create an environment where Robinhood won't exist. They say that their mission is to democratize finance for all, but when democracy actually decided what it wanted to do, it appears that Robinhood decided that they didn't like democracy after all. And so democracy is going to move on without them. And as I've just continued to talk, you can see that GameStop is continuing to rise. None of this is financial advice. All of this is just me observing the situation and trying to make sense of it. I'm not saying buy GameStop. I'm not saying that you should participate in Robinhood or don't participate in Robinhood. What I'm saying is that I think a lot of people are missing the point with what's going on here. This is not about making money for the people who are buying GameStop. This is absolutely about showing the people who are complaining right now, the people on CNBC, the billionaire hedge fund managers, the hedge funds that manage trillions of dollars in assets. They're the ones who don't like what's happening right now. And so who cares, because we had to suffer the consequences of what you did 12 years ago. And so now you have to suffer some consequences too. Again, incredibly fascinating stuff. Let me know what you're making of this situation. I'm just absolutely stunned and blown away by what's going on here from a cultural perspective. This seems like it's going to be something that is going to continue to be written about in history books for a long time to come. Potentially, we might get market reform because of this. However, what happened seems like, at least according to how I understand it, as just a YouTuber, was illegal in the first place. And now that companies are being caught out doing naked short selling, doing something illegal, and having to pay the severe consequences for it, they're very upset and they want to stop just normal everyday people from buying stock, which is absurd. With that being said, let me know what you think of this entire situation. $474 as I'm sitting here talking with you guys. This is absurd. Let me know what you think of the situation. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.